Cheers, 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 cheers.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like Ghost in a Power. I got a lot of different, you know what I mean? He James St. Patrick.
Bless St. Patrick.
Bless St. Patrick.
You know, so,
We're talking to Bless St. Patrick. This is Irene, Last Borough Standing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the Diamond District, Times Square, New York. I'm talking to Bless. Bless, you want to tell the people about yourself real quick?
What's going on? You know, it's Bless, a.k.a. Demetrius Lathan, a.k.a. King Bless, a.k.a. the King of Spades. And now the Ray Diamond event of the Diamond District. You know, born and raised in the Bronx. You know, made it to here.
What part of the Bronx you from?
Kingsbridge.
Oh, you from Kingsbridge?
Yeah, from Kingsbridge. When I was a baby, it was Throg's Neck.
Yeah.
And then Kingsbridge.
How was life in Kingsbridge? Was it ghetto?
I mean, the Bronx is, you know, could be ghetto at times in a couple places, but, you know, I love it, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. When you were growing up,
Mm-hmm.
like, what was that like? Like, was there anything that, you know, influenced your journey into going into jewelry or music
Mm-hmm.
or any of the things that you do?
I always had a passion for jewelry, you know, just with the whole hip hop culture, you know, jewelry was a major factor in it, you know, so just seeing all of my favorite rappers wearing all these, you know, crazy chains and, you know, just, and then, you know, being a young poor kid from the Bronx, you know, it's a dream, like it's something that you can't even like, you know, only could dream of for it, you know, so I always, you know, as soon as I got some money, I started buying jewelry, I started just, you know, studying a little bit of something here and there. But for the most part, hip hop really was a big influence in the jewelry, as far as the jewelry is concerned.
Was there anyone in particular in the hip hop journey, in the hip hop culture that influenced that for you, or was it just?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who?
I would say Fabulous, Jay-Z, Young Jeezy, Lil Wayne, all those guys, you know, it's such a major part of the culture. Like everybody was iced out, all different eras, you know, they had the big gaudy chains at one point, the 26-inch long chains and the watches. So just that whole era was very influential in my journey. Yeah.
So walk me through like your first time, like your process with starting to sell jewelry. Like what was that like from the very beginning?
Okay, so it's been a little under 2 years now. So what I wanted to do, because I didn't always like the interactions when I go to the jewelry store. I always felt like they was trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I felt like it was a lot of dishonesty. I felt like it was a lack of respect, you know, and something just ain't sit right when I see a price tag and they say, yeah, the price tag is say 50,000, and they'll say, you know, for you, my friend, I'll do this for 1,000. Some wasn't adding up, you know? So I said, you know, I want to get behind the curtain. I want to learn the game. I want to educate myself because we don't have representation or anybody who can, you know, verify, you know, what the price should be or verify that these things are actually what they say they are. It's a very gate-kept industry. So about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I started studying. You know, doing the homework on diamonds, colors, clarities, cuts, different type of diamonds. And, you know, I absolutely loved it. So I started experimenting with my own pieces. The first piece I made was a pinky ring for myself. Came out great. I loved it. I loved the process of it. And then I started, you know, moving forward with that and just expounding on that even more.
So, like, how do you, like, walk me through the process of creating a piece for, like, yourself or for someone, like, how do you start that process from beginning to end? Like, what influences you to create a piece? How does that process start?
So it starts here. So, for example, say if you had a particular piece of mind that you, say if it's not even a logo or something, because when it comes to logos or like certain pieces, it's a little easier because it's like the logo's a logo. But say if you have something, you say, you know, I want a letter pendant, I want, you know, a cross or something nice that you know the vibe that you want to go for, but you don't know exactly what it is. I'll sit with you, talk to you. You know, you come to Vanity Luxe NYC, we chill, have a drink, and as I get to know you more, I get a better idea of your personality, and I like to create pieces that represent your personality. You know, I'm not just trying to make pieces sell just to make money. I enjoy what I do. I take time. I want to make sure it's a perfect fit for you. So what I do is I listen to you. I'll look at what you got, the pieces that you have now, then I'll draw something. I'll draw something out for you. And then, you know, we go over, I'll draw like 2 or 3 pieces. And then once we had laid that foundation down, then we move forward. And then from that, from a sketch, it becomes a 3D rendering. From a 3D rendering, it becomes the gold mold. And then I'll buy the diamonds, we set the diamonds in there, you know, we polish it up nice, and then you have the final,
How long does that process usually take? Or does it depend on the piece or the person that's coming in? Like,
yes, it depends on the piece. If it's a simple piece, it could be a week. I literally just did a piece in 2.5 days because it was a rush, because I had to make it for a very special client's birthday, her daughter's birthday. But it could be anywhere from a week to a month and a half, depending on how sophisticated and intricate the piece is and how many diamonds it is, because it takes time to set diamonds.
Right.
Yeah.
So besides hip hop culture, was there anything else from the Bronx that influenced your journey into wanting to create jewelry or becoming a jewelry owner?
Just the culture. I wanted to be part of the jewelry game. I wanted to be part of an industry that we just had no representation in. Like, we needed somebody in the game somebody who cares about the culture, somebody who respects the people that's coming in and out the doors. You know, I've never in my life went to a jewelry store and the owner or the jeweler was somebody who looked like me, you know, which alone is enough for me. It's like, no, I want to talk to somebody that looks like me. I want to feel
from where
good.
you from. Yeah.
Right. I don't like forced interactions. Like, it's like, yo, you my man. But if your daughter came home with somebody that looked like me, you're going to disown her. You know, like, that's not a real interaction for me. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to be that for the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody who loves the culture, that's from the culture, respects the culture, and wants to progress, you know what I mean, and expand and make the culture move forward.
Speaking of the culture, so I've seen a couple of your pieces that reflect the culture, like the Longfellow Avenue piece. I've seen that on your social media. So how does your jewelry reflect Bronx culture in general? Like, what does that look like?
I like to capture the swag of the culture. You know, so my particular style, I like to mix the Bronx and my background and my history and the things that I love and like throughout my journey of just being a fan of jewelry. And I take that and I mix it with, you know, elegance, high jewelry, and, you know, just I experiment a lot, you know, because some people call me bougie, you know what I'm saying? But I like to mix where I'm from with where I'm at now, with where I'm going and where I aspire to be, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like even to like people from the Bronx, like giving them that feel of like, I could look like luxury. I could wear these pieces, they represent where I'm from. They're coming from someone who's from where I'm from. Yes. I feel like that also, you know, plays the impact and has a big role in all of that. So we spoke about how your jewelry represents Bronx pride. How do you give back to the Bronx or community in general through your work as a jeweler?
I feel like one of the biggest ways that I give back is through the experience that I provide. More so for like morality and to let people know that I care about them. You know, like as I'm starting now, I think that's one of the biggest things I could do for the culture. Provide a place where you could come. It's appointment only. It's one-on-one. You know, you don't have to have $1 million. Whether you're spending $1,000 with me or you're spending $100,000, I'm gonna treat you the same. You know, I think that's one of the biggest things that we don't feel appreciated. So I want people to come here, feel appreciated, and it's a genuine appreciation. Genuinely, you feel like, I appreciate you spending your money, spending your time, because you could be anywhere. Yeah. That's one of the biggest things that I feel that I can provide and give back right now. Just that sense of appreciation.
So seeing that you are in the Diamond District where there's so much competition around you, do you think those qualities set you apart from your competitors, or are there other things that set you apart? Like, what makes your jewelry specifically different from everyone else that's around?
I would say what really separates me is just the experience that I provide, because jewelry has been around forever. There's, you know, a lot of talented jewelers and people who've been in the game generationally for a long time. But the experience mixed with the quality of what I do and the creativity and the care that I put into every piece, And I have no competition. I feel like I have no competition. As far as inventory, they may have millions and millions of dollars in inventory. Their grandfather's grandfather was a jeweler in this. But as far as what I provide for the culture, the authenticity, there's no competition.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite memory of a client or any collaborations that you've done that was really rewarding to you? Like, tell me about that memory.
Man, there's so many.
Yeah.
Because
give me a couple.
So, a recent one, I just did a nameplate. I did a few nameplates. I did I just did a nameplate last week. 2 actually. So I did one nameplate last week for a birthday. One of my clients, his girlfriend was her birthday, and she's always wanted like a cute, dainty nameplate. So, I designed a nameplate, made it fire, but what really made that moment for me was when he came here and just the experience they had. Like, just to see people happy, just to see the joy in her face from the experience, the champagne waiting when they come in here, to surprising her with the piece that she didn't know she was going to get, to, just watching them, just the love in their faces and the excitement and the joy that they had. Like, that's what really, like, money's just a byproduct of what I do. I don't do this for money or chasing money. I just love the experience that I provide to people, and so that's why so many different moments of, it's hard to pick, because to see somebody's daughter crying because they see a piece, or a wifey giving their husband a big kiss and happy, and it's just so many different moments or just when I do a logo for somebody and they see it, they're like, oh, this is great. It's all so satisfying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a favorite piece that you ever created for someone that you like? I guess it was your favorite piece or your favorite creation, or you felt like an emotional tie to it?
I would say if I had to pick one of my favorite pieces, one of my favorite pieces I would say is one of my first pieces.
Yeah.
I did a lion piece, one of my first like.
You a Leo? Or
absolutely, big Leo.
Makes sense.
Big Leo, yes, big
my mom's
Leo.
a Leo.
Yeah, big Leo. I did a lion for him. He was also a Leo actually.
Yeah.
My boy O. And he was the first person who got a custom order from me. So this was my time to really show what I could do, and really, so it means, that piece means a lot to me for a lot of different reasons. He took a chance, he trusted in me to make this particular piece. Came out crazy. It was a humongous piece. That one is one of my favorites and one of my most meaningful pieces, because that was one of the turning points that helped me gain my confidence, and just really was a turning point in my career. Like, I could do this. Yeah. You know?
What made you open up a jewelry spot in the Diamond District and not the Bronx?
Credibility. I wanted people to really respect what I'm doing, and especially being a black man, I gotta really put on.
Yeah.
I could have the best quality, I could have the best everything, but because I'm a black man, it's a couple obstacles and hurdles that I have to overcome. So one of the biggest things when people say, "Where you located?" Diamond District. Oh. It hits a little different than saying, I'm in the area of the Bronx.
Or you in Fordham.
Yeah, it's a little different, because there's also a stigma when you buy jewelry in certain areas anyway. If you say, where you get it from? Oh, I got it from Fordham.
They'll be like, oh, is it real?
Yeah, exactly. So,
they're going to question it.
So one of the biggest things also is, when you have a showroom in my opinion, when you have a showroom in a Diamond District, there's a certain pressure to perform, right? If you are a jeweler in an area where nobody really knows about jewelry, or it's like you don't respect the clientele, you don't really, and people don't really know, most of the majority of the people that you're selling to don't know. Yeah. You don't have no pressure. You can just tell them, yeah, this is VVS, or this is this, and they don't know. It's shiny, it looks good, and you charge it whatever, bye-bye. But to be in a Diamond District where it's 100 other people that got the same thing you got, and a lot of educated buyers are coming, and understand jewelry, and they pay real money, it's a whole nother ball game. You got to really perform, and you got to know what you're doing, and you got to, take care of your business with the people.
Yeah, facts.
So, which is a pressure I don't mind, because that's what I do anyway.
Right.
But as far as the optics of credibility, I want people to know I take this serious. I came here so people know I take it serious. And then, the showroom that I have, it allows me to not only give them the experience, but also showcase the work.
Yeah. And it's so inspiring, because like when I found out you was in the Diamond District, I was like, a jeweler from the Bronx in the Diamond District? I was like, no way. Ain't no way. I know you mentioned something about, being Black and those set of obstacles. Can you walk me more through, like, what were some obstacles you faced being a Black man from the Bronx and having this space? Like, what was that journey like? Because unfortunately, being Black is a struggle in itself, but I'm sure you've been through some shit. So what was that like?
I definitely have to practice a lot of patience being a Black man in the industry, because it's hard for people to wrap their head around that I'm really the jeweler. So people naturally are going to think I got a plug somewhere, or I'm a middleman, or I'm the face of a company, versus, no, I'm really, and that's why I like to show people that I draw things from scratch and throughout the whole process, because it's hard for some people to just fathom, because they've never seen it. They've never seen it. Black jewelers are extremely few and far between. Yeah. Right? And famous or popular Black jewelers are non-existent. Nobody's rapping about any Black jewelers. Nobody's rapping. It's a lot of, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, just letting people know that I'm really the first and the last throughout the entire process. And I'm not just somebody like you put an order and I'm calling this person to get it done.
A third party.
Yeah,
like
I'm not
it's
a third
all
party.
you from beginning to end.
Yeah, this is from beginning to end. It's me overseeing this. Because that's the only way I can ensure the quality anyway. If I'm buying pieces wholesale, I can't ensure the quality, because I don't know what another jeweler or wholesale is putting in these things.
Right.
So that's one of the biggest things. Another obstacle is that a lot of people try to leverage me because they think that I need them, right? So a lot of people is like, I'm gonna try to get in with them, so I'm introducing this person, that person, just to try to leverage me. And I'm thinking that I'm just gonna give them stuff for free, or it's just crazy. It's crazy. People don't respect it as a business. They don't treat me the way they treat these other guys. Which is, and listen, I get it. This is something that people have never seen before. Right. And, it's up to me to let them know this is what's going on over here, versus getting upset, getting in my feelings about it. I just gotta.
You don't internalize it or take it personal.
Nah, I just know I just gotta show them better than I could tell them. Facts. With everything else, you gotta earn your reputation, and that's what I've been doing. And person by person, they see it. So anybody who has ever had the doubt, they come across, they're like, oh, nah, this is serious. Oh, he's the real deal. And that's cool, So I don't internalize it. I just put on and
let your
perform.
work speak for itself.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
What advice would you give to other aspiring jewelers from underrepresented communities, or even those from the Bronx? Like if they, were to watch this show and say, like, I want to be a jeweler too, like what advice would you give them?
I would say just put the time in. Make sure that if you're gonna dive in, you go hard. You go hard. Do the research, get certified. Just put your all into it, because this is not an industry that we have been in or that we are in. So you got to work 10 times harder. You get what I'm saying? You want to be able to answer things like this. You want to be educated. You want to know what's going on. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. That's first. After that, then you'll be able to move forward and then start focusing on designs and focusing on the clientele and things of that. But you want to have that basic foundation of just knowing about diamonds, clarity, color, cut, just everything, and an overall process. Yeah.
Are most of your clients, would you say, like, are they from all over New York? Are a majority of them from the Bronx, or is it like a mix? Because you're also in a tourist area. So do you happen to get clients that are out of town? Like, what does your clientele look like?
I got clients throughout the whole country.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of clients that I got to ship things to. I got clients in Texas, Florida, Baltimore. A lot of people here. Most of the folks are from here.
Yeah.
But word of mouth has been my best friend. You know, I have some very wealthy clients. I have a lot of different people that once they hear about me, they come in, and it's appointment only. So, you know, it's not just people can't just come in and out of here.
Yeah.
You know, you get an appointment.
Yeah.
You get your one-on-one time. We figure out what you want, and we make it happen from there.
Okay. When it comes to the Bronx, do you notice, like, with your Bronx clients, are there certain trends or preferences that they have with the jewelry or requests that they make? Like,
yeah, you know, they like gaudy jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of the culture. You know, they want it icy, they want it solid, they want to look good.
Blinding.
They want it, they want that look. For sure. That's definitely part of the uniform look, for sure.
Yeah. What do you want people to take away when they wear your pieces?
There was a lot of effort, a lot of love, and attention to detail. You know, and they can feel confident knowing that they're wearing some quality, something very quality that was definitely a lot of time, effort, and love put into it. Okay. For sure.
Do you have any notable collaborations or projects that you've been involved in? You want to tell me more about that?
I have a few that I'm working on right now. Can't really say too much about them, but I got some incredible, monumental things in the works right now. Yeah, with some major brands, actually. Very, very prestigious brands. I have some things I'm working on, for sure.
Okay, I can't wait to see. I'm excited.
Man, I'm excited too.
Yeah, y'all better follow him. Tell the people, tell them your Instagram.
Vanity Luxe, VANITYLUXE_official.
Y'all better
Hit
follow.
that follow button.
And be on the lookout, because he got some big things coming. Y'all gonna be tight.
Holler right now.
Don't wait. Don't stick.
Don't wait till I'm in the rap songs and all of that, because you ain't gonna be able to get.
Exactly. You're gonna be waiting.
You have to talk to her to get to me, and she ain't gonna want to talk to you to get to me. Listen, I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, all right. How do you stay updated with the latest trends and techniques in, like, jewelry making? Because I know you mentioned self-educating and kind of learning the craft, but, like, how do you, because things are constantly changing. Change is the only constant. So, like, how do you keep up to date with any jewelry trends to try to stay on top of it?
I try not to stay up with the trends, you know what
Why?
I mean? Because there's a lot of, there's certain pieces you could get anywhere. You could go to any jewelry store and find, all right, they're going to have this, and that. You go anywhere.
Yeah.
I like to change it up a little bit. Like, when you come here, there's certain pieces you're never going to see nowhere. Like, I like, so for this, for example, this particular piece here.
Let me see.
This is.
Oh, this is nice.
You know, that has black pearl in the middle of it with VS diamonds, 14 karat rose gold with a, so I like to mix art with the pieces, like things that you think you would see on Fifth Avenue, just different. I have the classic Cuban links, the classic studs, every shape and cut of diamonds, but as far as designs, I always try to do things differently. Yeah. Because I don't want people to be able to see what I have everywhere else.
Yeah, you want to stand out from everywhere else.
Yeah.
I get that. Because I feel like it's very cookie cutter.
Yes.
Where everyone, like, dresses the same, looks the same, wears the same thing,
And when you think about it, a lot of jewelers are not jewelry designers, right? I'm a jewelry designer. Like, I create, like, from scratch.
From the beginning.
Yeah. Like, so, and I have a bunch of different ideas in my head. And if you told me something, I'll put an idea together and create it. That's another thing that separates me.
Yeah.
I literally, from inception to the final product, I do that.
Besides rappers, was there anyone influential in your life that helped you push towards this jewelry design journey? Or was it just kind of like, I see this, there's no representation, I'm going to go into it? Like,
Surprisingly, a huge inspiration was one of my mentors who was actually in the jewelry game. It's crazy because I feel like people from that industry don't just allow people to come in, right? So one of my mentors, he was in the jewelry game for about 30 years. And, you know, a Russian guy. And he's known me since I was like 23. And he said, he's been telling me, listen, you need to be a jeweler. There's no black jewelers. You need to be a jeweler. But I wanted to be my rap. I want to be a rapper. It wasn't registering.
Yeah.
But once I started creating my own pieces and he saw some of the work, he said, listen, this is quality. You should do this full time, for real. Like, you should do this. Get an office on 47 for close to 47. You know, if you're gonna do this, do it for real. And I'll introduce you to everybody I know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want nothing from you. Yeah. You know, you like family. Boom. So I got the blessing. I got the office. I got the showroom. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He introduced me to all of the big dogs everywhere, diamond dealers, everybody. So I go in offices, and it's love.
That's
dope.
You
know, so it's crazy, which is, you know, I just feel fortunate, but it's because of just my character. You know, he's seen how I move for a long time. He know me for a long time. He's seen how I move. I'm trustworthy. If I need something, I could go get $500,000 in watches right now just because of my name.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just fortunate. But he was a big inspiration in me actually moving forward too, you know, because I had it in my brain, and that was basically just a reinforcement.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
it kind of was like, all right, I have this idea, but then God brought somebody in your life to kind of
absolutely
bring it to life.
Right. And it's crazy. He's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna do that, and you do you. He's super wealthy already, so he's like, I want you to be a big dog. It's crazy. So
that's dope.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's dope.
Because you know, usually them folks be wanting to latch on and take. He said, do you?
He literally was like,
yeah.
And he had good intention. You mentioned music, so you do music too?
Yeah, I've been doing. That was my first love.
Oh.
Music was my first love for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, do you still do music now? Who have you done music with? Tell me about that.
So I slowed down on the music. I got some heat in the tuck, but I just been focusing on this just to build a foundation with this.
Yeah.
But I've done songs with Dave East, Jim Jones, Bobby Valentino, Tank, Cool G Rap, quite a few people. I wrote records for a couple people, you know. Yeah. So
how do you juggle music and jewelry? How do you do both?
It's funny because they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I put music on the back burner for now and focused on jewelry because jewelry is something that everybody loves, right? You know, and it hits a little different. You say, yeah, my man, he do music. Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
My man's a jeweler. A word?
Yeah.
Yo, where he at? Where he located? It's a whole different, you know, so jewelry is definitely an avenue for me that is very lucrative. I love to do it almost as much as music. And it's gonna bring the network and the people that, you know, the people that I need to be around.
Yeah, also. Your target audience is going to bring that to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Being from New York, I know you've seen changes that's been happening throughout our neighborhoods. So I just want to get your thoughts on gentrification. Like, how do you feel about it right now? Is it good? Is it bad? Like, what are the pros and cons that you see?
The cons is that, you know, people are being moved out of where they are. You know, to me, I feel like the only pro is the aesthetic of different neighborhoods. You know, because you know when other people start coming in, they put more effort into building things up.
Yeah.
Like even if you look at the Bruckner area, it's like they call it what, Sob or Nobro or some Sobro.
Piano District or Sobro.
It's just, you know, when other folks start coming and they start putting a lot of extra 10, 11 care into the neighborhood, but they try to, you know, push us out. Or make things astronomically high, or you know, which is unfair. Or they try to buy out people who own properties in certain areas.
I've heard stories.
You know, they offer you an absorbent amount of money to get you out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it. It would be one thing if the people who are already there, they didn't try to like get them out or raise up and just, you know, because we deserve to get the TLC in the neighborhood too.
Right.
You know, people have been here their whole life and haven't seen it look like anything but the hood. I think it's whack that it takes other people to come in and for a neighborhood to come up. And for them to want to build up and do these things.
Or even like the older buildings, like the pre-war buildings, like knowing the architecture of how those buildings were created and the space that it had.
Oh yeah, the pre-war.
I notice now too that they're either knocking those buildings down to rebuild something else that has smaller units.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And then they charge more. So it's like you're getting less space.
Yep.
You're paying more rent. And it's just like...
Yeah, it's a money grab, you know.
And the new buildings don't even look all like they look modern. But some of the pre-war architecture, like even the Grand Concourse area, those buildings are beautiful. Some of them have courtyards and like
very
you can
vintage.
tell that it was built in a different era versus like some of the newer buildings that look very like boxy. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I think it sucks that you know, it's just a bunch of money grabs and just guys coming in. They just seeing dollars and cents. They don't care about the neighborhood. They don't care about the people from the neighborhood or the culture. They don't care. A lot of them are not even from. They're not from there, so they just come in. You know, just like almost the same thing with police. There's a bunch of police who are not from the area, that don't know the people, never had a relationship with the people, have a preconceived notion about the people, and they just like they think this. I couldn't want all that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
So given gentrification and the changes happening and even people being able to not even afford their current rent, like how do you ensure that your jewelry remains accessible, inclusive, given the context of gentrification? Like how do you approach pricing pieces if you know that a certain client might be from a certain area or have certain financial limitations? I guess that's the word.
So what I take pride in also is being very budget friendly, right? So I provide all different options for people, right? So everybody doesn't have gold and diamond money.
Yeah.
So whatever the budget is, one of the first questions I ask is, okay, what is this purchase for? Are you going for a look? Are you trying to save money? Do you want to splurge? Do you want an investment? And the answer to that question always lets me know what I need to know, right? Because no matter what the budget is, you're going to get that look, right? So if your budget is only for silver, then we're going to get you some silver that's super fire, right? And you're going to look good. If your budget is gold and diamonds, we're going to do that too.
Yeah.
So, and me being from the Bronx, coming from Section 8 welfare, public housing, you know, I don't care to what level I get. I'm never going to be too big to, you know what I'm saying? That's why I treat everybody the same. I'm never going to lose that.
Yeah.
I know where I come from.
Yeah.
Never going to forget.
Yeah.
And I know how good it feels to be able to go to the jewelry store, get something that look good. And versus, oh, you only got this much? Here, this is what I got for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, I that same attention to detail, that same love, that same energy, that same everything, you're going to get that. Because I know what it's like to not have. I know what it's like to be on a small budget. I know these things, you know? So, like, how dare me, you know, treat anybody lesser than or different because they don't have it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Did you have a favorite place in the Bronx? Like, what place was it? Was it a business? Was it a park? Was it a neighborhood? Like, did you have a favorite place in the Bronx that it was your spot? And like, why? What was the place and why was it your place?
That's a good question. Favorite place in the Bronx. I always loved Fordham.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I had some money. I always loved Fordham. when I had some money, you know, it felt good because, again, like I said, you know, being a fucking poor kid, you know what I'm saying? You know, moms ain't have it. Having some money and going to Fordham Road, that always felt good. You know what I mean? Just going, whether it be clothes or going to buy some jewelry, some Bronx jewelry that I probably got beat in the head for. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, it felt good at the time though. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely Fordham.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fordham.
Have you seen Fordham recently?
I haven't been there in like a year.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
They got a Chick-fil-A opening up on the Conquest where Pretty Girl used to be. You remember Pretty Girl on the Conquest? Yeah, Chick-fil-A's right there. They about to open it.
Oh, so them folks is coming in. Some incoming folks.
They got Chick-fil-A, they got 2 Chipotle's. The Starbucks been by Fordham University, but there's certain, Jimmy Jazz closed down, like there's certain spots that are starting to turn into other spots.
Yep. That's how you know.
And then there's like city bikes all up and down Park Ave. Like, you know Park Ave.
Yeah, I've seen the city bikes.
And they got the bike lane now coming out into Park Ave, so you can't even double park. And then they got the docks of the city bikes and every couple blocks, and I'm just like,
yeah, they getting ready.
and I'm just like, okay, it makes sense that it's convenient. I think they're building up a building too across from the Applebee's, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna be a building with like a and the gas station. Yo, I was driving with my homegirl the other day and I seen it, and I was like, that looks like a gas station because just the way like it's constructed. The gas station's coming up. They building up this building with like, it's apparently going to be like a shopping plaza underneath and then apartments on the top. And I'm just like, what is Fordham turning into? Because when you see the transition for the past couple of years, it's like, I get it, it makes sense. The Metro North is right there.
Yeah.
It's close to the 95 isn't far. The Bronx River Parkway isn't far. The 87 to Deegan isn't far. So it's kind of like, the Central Bronx, it's a hub where you could kind of get access to go to different parts of the Bronx. But then seeing the shops kind of transition out, seeing the bike lanes pop up, seeing the bikes pop up, seeing certain businesses pop up, it's kind of like, what's about to really happen to the Fordham area in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, is it going to look like the Fordham that we knew?
It's not.
Every time I go to do my eyebrow, I'm like, is my eyebrow lady gonna be here? Like,
right.
Am I gonna have to
trying
like?
To put the landlords gonna be putting pressure on people. It's gonna be very different.
So when I think about it I'm just like, again, appreciate there's a Chick-fil-A nearby because I love Chick-fil-A. But for who?
Right.
Like, who is it really for?
Because we've been there for a long time and it was never there.
It was never there.
You understand?
Yeah, they changed it. There's a Target that's there now. Like, certain stores are starting to pop up, and I'm like, who are these stores for?
Yeah.
Granted, Fordham University is down the block, but
that's always been down the block.
It's always been there, and y'all didn't change up these businesses until recent.
Right.
So it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%.
I think another question I have for you, like, when you hear the Last Borough Standing, what comes to mind and why?
The Bronx.
Why the Bronx?
Because we're going to always be the last borough standing. You heard?
He gets it.
Yeah. I love everybody who listen. Born and raised in the Bronx. You know what I mean? I'm still that.
Do you think if you grew up somewhere else, you would be where you are now? Or do you think the Bronx kind of just was iffy, like they opened the floodgates for you to become a jeweler? Like, do you ever wish you grew up in another area, or no? No.
I ain't never commit no treason like that in my mental. It's treasonous behavior. You know, I love, you know, where I'm from. It made me who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? My DNA is Bronx.
Facts.
You know. Yeah, I wouldn't have it no other way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And everybody should feel about where they from. You know, I wouldn't change, and I never wanted to be from nowhere else. My journey is my journey. It made me who I am. It gave me the characteristics and the traits that I have now. You know? Word.
If you can make it in the Bronx or New York, you can literally make it anywhere. I feel like.
Absolutely.
Anywhere in this world, to be honest.
Because, you know, they always, you know, downplay the Bronx all the time. So, you know, I feel like
Talk about it.
Yeah, they always.
That's why I'm doing this podcast.
Yeah, they always downplay the Bronx. You know, everybody big up Brooklyn, everybody big up Queens, Harlem. Well, Manhattan, Harlem. You know.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Staten. You know, they get it too.
Do they?
they get it too. They be getting cooked too. You know what I mean? They be acting like that's not a borough too. They be cooking them.
The only thing that Staten Island gave us is Wu-Tang, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
You know, everything else over there.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. You know. But every a lot of the other boroughs like get a lot of love, a lot of So the Bronx needs. I'm proud to be representing the Bronx.
Same.
You know. For sure.
Same. We started everything. We gave the world hip hop, and we've been through some shit.
Let me tell you something. I'm glad you said that. I got a book right here too. Hold on. This is kind of it's almost poetic that I'm a black jeweler, right? So this is this book right here, Ice Cold right here. This is about the history of jewelry and hip hop, right? So hip hop, as we know, started in the Bronx. So for me to be a jeweler from the Bronx I think that's like, it just feels crazy. It feels crazy, you know what I mean? Because jewelry is such a big part of the culture, a culture that started in the Bronx. You know, so not only for me to be a black man doing this, but to be from, the Bronx and do it, I'm extremely proud.
Yeah. And you laying a blueprint for other up-and-coming youth that's from the Bronx that's like, yo, he got a shop and he got I shouldn't say a shop. He has
private showroom.
A showroom in the Diamond District. And he's from the Bronx.
Yeah.
If he did it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So that representation itself, historically, we've known the Diamond District to be run by a certain demographic. But to know that you're from the Bronx, you're here, you're doing it, you have these clients, and someone else, kind of pay that forward to you, I'm sure a younger person might come to you for, mentorship. Has that ever even happened? Are there people that come to you and it's like, hey, can you teach me or put me on, what you've learned, because I'm trying to do this too? Has that ever happened?
Truthfully speaking, to go back to the beginning of that, that's one of the biggest driving forces for me also, for young black boys to see somebody who looks like them, that's not, an older man, somebody who's close in their age, somebody who they can, who relates to them, somebody who has the same story as them, that talks like them, listening to the same music that they listening to for the most part. That's one of the biggest things for me. Even inspiring people my age, older, that's another thing that really I'm very fulfilled. I get fulfillment out of that, inspiring people.
Yeah.
Because outside of, rappers, athletes, entertainers, there's nobody that's within reach. Nobody that's, everybody that me personally, I've looked up to, I would never met them. I never would be in the same spaces with them until probably now. To see, if I saw, it would have been amazing for me to see a young black man with a storefront, or, as a jeweler, or, it's just something, because it's more to life than music, entertainment, and that's not our only way to success. So that's another thing that really makes me feel good, me being able to, and I'm dealing with jewelry, which everybody loves and respect.
Yeah.
And I look like them.
And you look like them. That's a representation for me.
Right, and I understand them.
Yeah, that too. I feel like you gotta be relatable.
Yeah.
If I'm going to you for any type of product or whatever it is, can you relate to me to really understand what it is that I want? How are you gonna be able to cater to that if you don't understand me?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, because when you go to a lot of I went to a lot of jewelry stores. They have a preconceived notion in their mind, or what you want, or what you're gonna be like, oh, my friend, I got this right here. They show you the most corny, gaudy looking piece because they don't understand. They think they know you. Like, everybody thinks they know us. They think they do. They don't. So when people come here, I know the look. I know the look we going for. I know what you're trying to do. I know the type of girls you're trying to attract. I know the type of people that you're trying to impress. I know the aesthetic. I know the optics that you're going for. It's different. I'm from there, so I understand it. You know?
And we're our biggest target audience. Like, when you think about advertising in general, like,
yeah, absolutely.
Black culture, Black people, the Black dollar, like, we are the target. So
absolutely.
To understand it on that level and still be, like, it's just different. It's a different type of connection.
Different. It's completely different. So, you know, I really love the fact that I can inspire. People tell me all the time, whether it be in the DM, when they see me outside, they're like, yo, big bro, you motivate me, man. You inspire me. Like, I love that. You know, that's what I'm here for, because they know, like, you know, I'm doing this now, but life ain't been pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been here for 36 years. You understand? So, yeah, it ain't been pretty. Being born and raised in the Bronx, it's been a journey.
Tell me about the unpretty, because I know it's ghetto. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, you know, I've been through the ringer. You know, from, you know, court cases, prison time, you know, interrogate, all type of stuff. Like, from everything that a young man in the Bronx
being targeted,
right? You know, what's the word? This Duce kicking in. Racial profiling to peer pressure to you know, just making sure that I'm, if it's an issue, I gotta do what I gotta do. Even this is a lot of, like, I was always a good kid. But I was always a clean-cut kid, a handsome kid, articulate, well-spoken kid. So a lot of kids would think that was a green light to. So there was times that I had to do a lot of things I didn't want to do. You know, I was never like a kid who liked a confrontation, but I was never one who was going to let people play with me. You know, but just being from the Bronx, man, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey. I've been through a lot of things, a lot of pandemonium, but I don't wear that on my sleeve. I don't wear that in my, you know, personality and my delivery. I know who I am. I know where I come from. I know what I've done. And all I care about is motivating people. And, you know, I just want people to live the best life. I want people to be able to attain fly shit, really. Like, that's what it's about. I want people to be getting money, living fly, you know. If you had a history, you had a past, that's cool. You know,
character development. That's all that is.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who are on the field. It's a lot of gangsters, a lot of gangster shit going on. But at the end of the day, we all aspire to do greater. Hopefully we do. So I'm just happy to be where I'm at, be able to inspire people with my story and with what I've been through. You know, like, I've been through what you've been through, but look, I just came from Greece. I just came from Italy. You understand?
Like, and Black people, let me not generalize, but Black people from New York, a lot of them stay on a block. They don't have passports, they don't travel. So the fact that you're able to catch these flights and say, like, look, I'm doing this, but I'm also out there doing it too. You know what I mean? It's different. It hits different.
It's super different. And when people see somebody like myself doing it, and not just like celebrities and rappers,
they're like, I could do it too.
Because you can. You can do it. It's nothing that we can't do.
If you don't have your passport, get it.
Go get that, man. Stop
your flight.
Stop selling yourself short. You ain't gotta stay in the 5-star villas, the hotel, but, you know, travel. Get them stamps in your passport. Enjoy life. Enjoy the different ambiance, the different cultures. You deserve it. Go for it, man. Go for it.
Expand your mind. Expand it.
Absolutely.
Oh, this was nice.
For sure.
I really appreciate everything we spoke about.
Appreciate you.
All right. So, guys, don't forget to follow Vanity Luxe _official.
For sure.
Instagram handle. Follow my Instagram if you're seeing this for the first time. Last Borough Standing. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure.
This was amazing. I really hope people took away from this. Yeah.
Appreciate you for coming through. You know, hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed the ambiance.
I loved it. I love the drinks. It's giving, y'all. Like, I need to come up in this space because I came here and I was just like, my energy just, I was like, oh my God. Very comfortable. He had like hip hop classical.
Oh yeah.
It was like a hip hop classical mashup. Like, I don't know what playlist that was, but can you send that to me?
Yeah, we doing things different. You know, you gotta mix the culture with the elegance.
Yeah, it gave what it needed, so it was real nice.
For sure.
Bathroom was on point, and I love me a clean bathroom.
Come on now.
But everything was fire. So if you ever are in the area, stop by, come check out some of his pieces. And
For sure. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you too.